Hi there, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to Conversations with MM. This is Maribir Montebon here in New York City. I hope everybody's doing well and coping with the heat these days. So, we have another wonderful episode for you, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to discuss about folklore epics, and this is very a rare topic again. But before that, I'd like to say thank you to our partner in Las Vegas, PHLB Radio, for streaming us from the west coast of the country. So now Conversations with MM is already nationwide. Thank you naman for that, Kuya Johan. And so our guest this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is a linguist. She lives in Baltimore. She speaks my language, Bisaya, Cebuano, and so I'm happy. And she is a linguist and has a degree in Master of Arts in Literature, and she is the pioneering researcher of Guman, the epic of the Dumalinao in Zamboanga del Sur. I'd like to welcome the wonderful Esther Klug, formerly Malagar. Hello, Ate Esther. Welcome to my
Hello,
podcast.
Maribel. Hello, Maribel. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure to have you. Nindot ate that I am able to invite you to my podcast. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Ate Esther and I have been together for some professional work. And so that's how we met. So at this time, we are going to talk about her work as a linguist and as a researcher of Guman, the epic of the Dumalinaos. These are the Suban-on na mga tao or the people of the river, okay, from the word Suba. So Ate, tell us about this research of yours and how this has, entered into your life and why you chose it.
I was taking my master's degree at Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan de Oro City in Mindanao. And when it came after my courses, I was in a dilemma as to what will be the topic of my thesis, and I don't know what to choose. So my mentor then was Mario. Was an Ilocano professor of Xavier. I think his name is Mario Rosal. I'm sorry, this happened 5 decades ago, and he suggested that I should pick something that is accessible, that has never been done before. So I picked Guman because I was also working closely with the Research Institute of Mindanao Culture in that school, in that university, and I was also working in the office part-time of Father Borromeo, who is the curator of the museum there. And I saw several works on epics and researches. So I picked the Guman, the epic of the Suban-ons in Zamboanga, because it's close to my home. And I noticed that nobody has ever published the entire epic ever. So I said, this is a good opportunity. It's not that hard because I don't have to invent anything. So I will just gather it. So I was fortunate enough to be one of the recipients of a grant from the Ford Foundation here in the United States of America. They gave me allowance, money to finance my trip, insurance, which is very important because I was going in the remote area of Zamboanga. Luckily, I have a relative who is the superior of a school there, Sister Macarios, who is from Ilocos. And since my grandfather is from Ilocos, she is my distant relative. And she invited me to stay in the convent. So I could have been a nun, I think.
How old were you when you did the research, Ate?
I think I was, I finished college when I was 17. I don't know.
Early.
Yeah, I just spent my time going to school. So, I finished it in three years, I think. So by the time I think I was 21 when I
Mhm.
started this research, and no, I was not 21. I was 21,
Uh-huh.
and um, I was single when I started it.
Mhm.
But then along the way, I got married.
Okay.
I
How
got
long did you do the research for?
I did it for over a year.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started when I was still a student. I finished my master's. I got married, and then I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So can you
While
imagine
doing the research?
a pregnant woman traveling to these mountains?
Oh my
And
God.
the only reason why I have to do it at that time is because Ford Foundation gave a warning, gave an ultimatum that if I don't finish my research and publish my thesis,
Mm.
they will stop the grant that they gave to that they have been giving to Xavier University. So I that was like on my plate that I'll be the one that will cause it to be stopped.
So you had to do it. Like,
I have to
you
do
were
it.
forced to do it.
So I
Okay.
spent my time traveling there. And because it was a remote area, I have to have a guide. I have to ride. And at that time, remember, in the 70s,
Mm.
there's no good roads,
What's
no
your mode of
internet,
transportation?
no cell phones.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So so the first step I did was to look for a person who is known to be a chanter. So
Mm.
this epic is chanted, and
Yes.
the because it's an epic and chanted, and this group will chant it at night. But I have to do my research during daytime because it's not a very safe place.
Yes. So why do they
So
do it at night, ate? Why do
that's
they
how they do
chant in
it
the evening?
because this is like an entertainment. This
Okay.
is like an entertainment and usually done during a gathering, a fiesta, a wedding,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if a funeral. So they do it at night. So because I have to do it during daytime, the chanter that I found has to have the whole house dark,
Mm-hmm.
and she covered her eyes. So it's like a semblance of darkness, nighttime,
Mm-hmm.
and and uh, it was not done in one at one time. So I have to go back and forth,
Uh,
and it was first recorded. I don't know if you were already born when we don't have uh, a digital recording. We have to use a big tape recorder
so
with
you bring
a
a big cassette recorder?
yes
Wow.
big cassette, and I think there was a microphone, and
Mm-hmm.
it was recorded on the cassette. So after it was recorded in the cassette, it has to be translated because it was in Subano language.
Right. So do you understand Suban-on language or
No,
somebody
no,
translated for you?
somebody has to translate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would still remember the chanter was Pilar, and
Okay.
then another person did the translation, and I think is the last name is Imbing. And li- uh, recently I found a play
Mm-hmm.
that depicted this Guman, exactly the same wording, the same uh, uh, sequence as my episode. They did
Okay.
not acknowledge me as a source,
Oh.
but it was also from Dumalinao and the same people. So
So you think that it was from your work?
yes, it was
Mm-hmm.
from my work because there was a copy and it was exactly the same, and it is just a portion. And one of the people who made a comment said, why did you stop? What is the
Mm-hmm.
ending? What happened to this story? So
So.
I tried, that's on Facebook. So
Mm-hmm.
I answered that person and I said, I saw you were interested in the Guman, contact me, but fortunately I didn't get an answer.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So this
So
is a case of like many years ago, your work was there and was used for another additional research by someone else. So
Mhm.
things like that, ate, you have the right to inform that person that that's my work and prove it that it is yours.
Yes, but uh, going back,
Mm,
after that, uh, I defended my thesis. I passed it, and
yeah.
then there was the thesis contains the like the comments about it, and
Mm-hmm,
then the entire narrative in Suban-on, and then a
mm-hmm.
translation in English. And then
Okay.
after that, there were several students from the same school that also did a research, and they acknowledged that it was from my research.
Okay, so this group this time acknowledged your work as their reference.
Yes.
That's
So I
great.
put this aside. I came to the United States and
Mm-hmm.
forgot about it until recently. Actually, one of my recently I found it, and I mentioned it to one of my grandsons who is an
Uh-huh.
adult now, and he said, "Grandma, you're a
Uh,
famous writer. You have a book. How come you never gave us a copy?" And I said, let me find if I have one. And he
oh
said,
my
I
God.
want that. Okay. So that made me go back and research, and I
Mm.
contacted the school and asked for reprints.
And
And
were they giving you?
they don't have any more copies of the book. It's
Oh,
called Kinaadman, which means
oh,
wisdom.
yeah. Sa Bisaya, yeah.
Yes, and then I also found a copy in one of the libraries here, and I think there was either Ohio or since or somewhere in the South.
Oh, I see.
So they have one copy. So I
Oh my
was trying
God.
to contact the Library of Congress if they
Correct.
happen to have a copy, because this was originally sold in Cellar Bookstore in Chicago.
Oh
Cellar
my God.
Bookstore,
You have to look
Cellar.
for your own book now, ate.
Yeah, I'd
But
like
I
to
have,
have a copy. But
yeah,
anyway, the school
yeah.
provided me a typewritten transcript of what was published there.
Nice. So you have it now with you.
I have it now.
Oh, great, great. I hope to see you and I'll be able to read it. But I
Yes,
am
and
interested, ate.
maybe
Yeah,
our next project would be to have it published.
correct. I
And
have
then
a
I also
question.
found out
Uh-huh.
that this was also included in the anthology of folk epics in University of the Philippines,
Nice.
and also in one of the universities in Japan. I was tempted to write Japan and say, "Hey, I can travel. Just book me a ticket, and I can talk about this." But
Yeah,
I didn't
your
have time
process
to
of
do that. Maybe
research.
one day.
Yes, yes, definitely. But I have a question, Ate Esther. So, what tell us about in a short form in the synopsis? What is the story of the Subanon based on the epic that you were able to gather from them?
Okay, this is a story of a kingdom, a very
Okay.
lavish, luxurious kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and they have daughters, they have
Mm-hmm.
sons, they have a son, I think that who
Okay.
died somewhere, and then they have daughters, and in fact, this is also like a
Mm-hmm.
fight. They were fighting against invaders who were
Mm-hmm.
trying to attack and take over their kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So it is more of like a diwata and fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
and and um, as I mentioned,
Mm.
there was a play
Okay.
made on this, and that play depicts really the synopsis of the story, although it was not finished.
Uh-huh. But why was it not finished?
The person who probably directed the play
Yeah.
didn't have the same enough funding, or
Oh.
uh, because it was not finished. That's why one of the readers said, "What is the ending?" And so it was, maybe
Oh.
it was interested, and there was a lot of people who liked it and made noted that they read it.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to contact the director of that play, and I was going to say, "Hey, did you use my script?" But anyway, the person did not reply.
Oh, I
If
see.
you type Guman of Dumalinao in the internet, all of this will come up, like um, people who have cited the my research. They
Yeah.
acknowledged me, and my name before was Esterlinda Mendoza Malagar,
Uh-huh.
and they cited this as a source of their quotation. They quoted
Great,
it
great.
because they did more research, and they did other research of other epics in the other tribes in the Philippines.
So, given resources, would you be willing to go back to find out if this folklore is still being practiced in the community?
Of
Do they
course,
still have
yes.
theater?
That would
Are
be
they
a
still?
good trip.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
hope it is still being practiced, Ate. I hope the
I think
Subanons
it
are still there.
is. I think it is because if you go to Facebook, they
Mhm.
form a group.
Oh, there is.
There is a group, and I
Mhm.
tried to join, and a
Okay.
lot of them are talking in Suban-on,
Hmm.
and a lot of them have the same last name as the person who chanted and the person who translated.
Oh, awesome. So, what is Suban-on, Ate? Can is it also similar? Na po yung mga similar terms nga Cebuano, Bisaya sa Suban-on? Like, are there common terms? Just like
Um,
Tagalog na common terms sa
not as much
Cebuano.
as the Tagalog and the Spanish and the Tagalog.
Oh,
Not as
they're
much.
really different.
Yeah, very different. Because before, when I was
Yeah.
doing the research, the
Mm.
Suban-ons were described as the peaceful Maranao,
Oh, wow.
because the Maranao likes to fight and
Yeah, they're
take
kind of
over.
warriors, no?
Yeah, warriors. The
Mm-hmm.
Suban-ons are farmers, fishermen. So they are the mild and peaceful, loving people.
Oh, that's so nice to know. That's so amazing. So,
And
Ate, yes.
in fact, I I'm going to uh, send some messages,
Mm-hmm.
trying to call some people who are
Mm-hmm.
Suban-on,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we can form a group and then enhance on this epic. Maybe they have more epics.
Yes, it's really worth preserving because this is like the heritage of that community, of the locality. So, Ate, on your personal aspect, why did you become a linguist?
By accident.
By accident.
Uh,
Why is that?
when I was in the Philippines, for free, I taught a lot of Peace Corps volunteers
Mm.
who came to the Philippines to speak either Cebuano or Tagalog, because my mother was speaks Cebuano, and
Mm.
I grew up speaking Cebuano because she did not speak Tagalog very well,
Uh-huh.
and my
Well,
father is
it's
from
normal for Cebuanos nga maglisod og Tagalog.
and my father is a very fluent Tagalog teacher, professor of Filipino Tagalog. He is from Bukawi, Bulacan.
Mm.
So see, Bulacan is famous for their ballads also, and
Yes.
rhetoric, and they're really the pure Tagalog.
Correct. Correct.
So when I came to this, so in the Philippines, I did that for free, just helping the
Uh-huh.
Peace Corps volunteers. In fact,
Uh-huh.
when I came to the States,
Mm.
I contacted one of my uh, students. He still lives here in Pennsylvania, in New York, and
Mm-hmm.
he speaks a little bit of this Cebuano. So sometimes
Okay.
his name is sometimes I talk to him in Cebuano and he can mumble a little bit.
I see.
And so one day when I
Yeah.
came to the States, I did a lot of things.
Mm.
I started to do real estate, insurance,
Mm.
and then one of my clients in insurance, when I asked him what his profession was, he
Mm.
said he is an interpreter. And I said, "What does an interpreter do?" He explained to me that what a interpreter goes to court and interprets into the dialect the proceedings and
Mm.
the native language. So, and he said, "Oh, you can become Filipino interpreter because we don't have one." Oh, and I said, "Oh, we don't need an interpreter.
Oh,
Everybody in the Philippines speak English."
right.
And don't need an interpreter. And he said, "Well, just try." So I applied as an interpreter,
Mhm.
and I was accepted. And for 20 years, I was the
Okay.
only interpreter for the whole state of Maryland.
Wow.
I was not busy because a lot of people don't really know that they can ask for an interpreter. But after
Mhm.
9/11, when the
Yeah.
language access became a right, I
Yes.
became busy. So that is how I started. So now I am doing interpreting in all the courts all over the country, and I was also asked to do interpretation in Central Africa, which
Wow.
I thought, oh, there's no Filipinos going to Africa. But when I arrived
But
there,
there
there were
is.
300 Filipinos
Wow.
in an oil rig. So that's another
Oh my
story,
God.
maybe.
That's
And
an interesting part of your journey as an interpreter.
yes, one of the best highlights of my journey as an interpreter, because I
Amazing.
never thought I'll be on the land of Africa, and it was a very lavish and sophisticated trip. You know.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting, Ate. So, um, tell me, when you came to the US, you brought your children, and so you were also raising them here.
Uh,
How was that, raising the kids here?
I have three boys,
Mm,
so fortunately, they were already out of their car seat and diapers when I brought them here,
okay.
because I could just imagine,
Yeah.
coming here and taking care of three kids in this foreign land. So
Of
you know how it
course.
is in the Philippines. We are so spoiled.
Yes. We
We
have
have
babysitter.
yaya and all this,
Yeah.
but then we cannot afford it here. So
Mm-mm.
I was lucky that they are already able to take care of themselves. So uh,
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
oldest sons actually
Uh-huh.
always make a comment that, "Mom, I thought we were only visiting America. I thought we are not
Oh.
staying."
Oh. He was thinking of going back. He was just thinking of
He
a
thought we
vacation.
were going back, but I was actually planning on staying, but he didn't know that. But anyway,
Oh my
I
God.
have three boys, and
Uh-huh.
they all live here in Maryland, and they
Mm.
are all married, and I have
Okay.
9 grandchildren.
Wow,
And I
nine.
have one of my oldest
Daghan.
grandson, who actually showed interest in the publication, got
Mm.
married and has a son. So I am a great grandma.
Already. Oh my God, congratulations. What a
Yeah, I'm
blessing,
so
Ate.
lucky and blessed that I'm still around to see them.
And then you're
And
jet setting the US because of your interpreting work. Grabe naman. So,
so
yes.
interpreting, actually, I'm glad we are in the US, because in the Philippines, there's an age limit of when you can work. But
Yeah.
here, as long as you have still stable mind and clear thinking, you can
Yeah.
be an interpreter.
And you're
And
still
I love
physically
my
fit.
job because it is so diverse. It's
Mm-mm.
never boring. You have different topics. You go to different places, and you meet so many people.
You
And
also feel like you are a lawyer because you know the law and what happened to the person you're interpreting for, right?
because my first job here,
Mm,
aside from uh, doing insurance,
mm.
was working in law office. I worked for big law firms here in Baltimore, actually four of them. And that's where I learned about law, and that was one of the best jobs I have here. And I also work for 7 years at Bonsicor Hospital as a assistant risk manager. So those two jobs um, helped me in my being a linguist here, because
Amazing.
we have to deal with law, and then sometimes I'm sent to hospitals.
That's nice, Ate. I love your journey. Parang you're so cool. I mean, the first time I met you, were like, so cool si Ate.
And you too. You have so. I was reading your your project now? And I said, oh, I want to be in this project.
Oh, okay, okay. That's going to be exciting. We will have some more mga projects together. That's great. So, Ate, one last question until and then we wrap up. Tell us about your reflection on journey mo as an immigrant, as a successful professional and mom and an academician and a researcher. So, how is life presenting itself to you, and what can you say to the younger generation para naman we can cope, we can succeed?
Okay. Uh, we are so blessed to be here. And there's no place like home, but to me, this is my second home. I still have siblings in the Philippines. I have a brother there and three sisters. And that's why I always go back as often as I can. But
Okay.
being a linguist, I would like to suggest to the mothers of Filipinos who come here to
Yeah.
allow your children to speak the language, not to forget their mother tongue, because it's very important to have knowledge of our language in our life. And also, um, don't be ashamed that you are speaking uh, English in a with a Filipino accent,
Mm-hmm.
because we are so fortunate to be able to speak more than one language, because
Right.
it's not easy to learn a language. I think if I did not have parents who speak both Cebuano and Tagalog at home, I
Yeah.
will not grow up to have two dialects in my knowledge. So
Right.
when you come here, I think America is a great country. And as long as you work hard, you don't care what kind of job, uh, save money and uh, enrich yourself spiritually, physically, materially. I think this is a very nice place to live, and then go back home and enjoy the um, the great character of Filipinos, which is one of the best citizens of the world. Everybody who visits the Philippines don't want to leave the country. I love the Philippines and I love America.
Amazing. That's so great. Thank you so much, Ate. That's a very lovely message. It's very inspiring. Ma-inspire masatana. So we have to practice our Cebuano, right? We have to use
Yes.
it. And we also you speak English, and then we have the best cultures in our psyche, in our DNA. Great, great. That has been so wonderful. Thank you so much, Ate
You're welcome,
Esterlinda
Mother, and
Malagar.
congratulations on your great work. Also,
Oh,
so happy to meet you because you are just so diverse in your world.
thank you. I am also inspired by my own world and my work as a journalist. So, ana ra gyud na siya. You have to love what you're doing, and so we will lift each
That is the
other up.
key. Love what you do, and you can do it forever.
Yes, indeed. Thank God. So, thank you, Ate, and I'll see you again soon. And
Soon.
ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. So, daghang salamat in my language in Cebuano. Maraming salamat in Tagalog.
Daghang salamat. Maraming salamat.
And thank you very much. So, see you again in our future episodes. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Bye for now.
Bye for now.